tuning in from or watching us from. This is your 10-minute plug-in from MBN, and I'm your host for today, Ambassador Joyce Murigi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be listening from or tuning in from or watching us from. This is your 10-minute plug-in from MBN, and I'm your host for today, Ambassador Joyce Murigi from Nairobi, Kenya. Good morning, good afternoon, you're welcome, you're welcome. Please let me know where you're watching us from. Please just give me a shout, put your comment in the comment section, and let me get to see you, get to know where you are watching us from. Good morning, and you are welcome to this 10-minute plug-in from MBN. I will start because of time. And today, oh, hola, hola, hola. Good evening, Queen Victoria from Spain. How are you? How is Spain? How are you doing? Thank you for your support. Thank you, beautiful. Let me see who else is joining. Thank you. Hi, Marie from Canada. How are you? How is Canada? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much for joining. And I see other two, but let's get started. So today I am going to speak on a subject. Hi, my little sister, Agnes Givenji from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you for your support. I love you. I love you all. I love you, Queen Victoria. I love you, Queen Marie. And I love you, Queen Agnes. You're welcome to the house of the Lord. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to speak on a topic or a verse that we, quote quite a lot. But I began to ask myself how it all began, and I am going to welcome you to my journey of discovery. So this is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. But before we even read that verse, I want to lay, the background of how all this began. And, this is a section of a letter that was written by Prophet Jeremiah to the exiles in Babylon. The exiles came from the people of Judah and people of Jerusalem. So they were sent to exile because they were disobedient to God. So they were going to stay there in Babylon for 70 years. Babylon is Iraq. You know where Iraq is? That is where Babylon was. So if we start from verse 4, we see what the Lord said through this letter that was sent to these people who were sent to the exile. The letter that was sent to them through King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. It was written by Prophet Jeremiah to them. And he was writing this letter to the remnants, to the ones who had survived, the captivity, because most of them died. There was a lot of suffering. So the remnants, the ones who survived, this letter was supposed to be for them. And when we start from verse 4, and I'm not going to read, but I'm going to invite you to read. The letter said that this letter being written to the elders, the priests, and the prophets, the ones who had survived, they had been told, or they were told, to live normal lives, to build houses in the captivity in Babylon, to settle, and to plant gardens, to let their sons and daughters marry, to seek peace and prosperity for Babylon or for that city. So the letter said that God was telling them that they should lead or live normal lives in the captivity. And they were also told not to let the false prophets or diviners deceive them, and not also to listen to their dreams, for they were prophesying lies in the name of God. So now, when we go to Jeremiah, the verse 11, which forms our message today, God is reminding them of his promise. He promised to take them back. After the 70 years, he promised to take them back to Jerusalem. He also let them know what plans he had for them. These remnants, God wanted them to know the plans that he had for them. And these plans were to prosper them and not to harm them. They were also supposed to give them a hope and a future. But they had a part to play. And this part they were going to play is actually found in the verse following verse 11. They were supposed to call on the name of God. They were supposed to call God, and he was going to hear, or he was going to listen to them. They were also supposed to seek God with all their hearts, not half their hearts, not undivided attention, but with all their hearts. And he was going to be found. He will bring them back from captivity to Jerusalem. So he was going to honor his promise. And I began to think, what is the lesson that we can derive from this? So the lessons for today is that we also find ourselves in different captivities. Maybe it is because of bad decisions, corporate and individual, or or disobedience. So we could be in a political captivity, where probably we have put people in leadership who are not good leaders. And this is a corporate decision. It could be a corporate decision, but also it is contributed by our own individual decisions. So the result of it is poor leadership, poor economic performance, increased social ills, poor health, maybe high taxes, and corruption, because that leadership does not think about its people. We could be finding ourselves in a captivity of bad marriage. Again, this was not corporate decision or disobedience, but it was an individual a decision, or things have changed in your marriage, and now you find yourself in captivity. We could also find ourselves in bankruptcy. It's also a form of a captivity. Again, this can be as a result of bad governance, or poor leadership politically, and or bad decisions, individual decisions or corporate decisions. Because if a country or leadership does not take care of its people, then undoubtedly many businesses are going to fail. Right now, in the current, we are finding ourselves in what I would call COVID captivity. It is like COVID has taken over. Again, this might have been as a result of corporate, a decision or disobedience. Definitely, its spread has been a form of, or rather has come as a result of bad decisions, definitely, or disobedience, from our parts, or defiance, both at individual level or corporate level. But you know what? Those are just some of the examples I can give. There are so many examples where we find ourselves in different forms of captivities. But you know what? This Jeremiah from chapter 29 from verse 4 all the way to 13 gives us all the answers. We are supposed, if we are listening to this message, or we are, in the house of the Lord listening to this message, then we are the remnants. And we are the remnants of the captivities that we have found ourselves in different times and different seasons of our lives. So God is telling us today, live normal lives because you believe in God, God who does not fail us, and God who keeps promises. We believe in Him who is going, or rather, who has better plans, who has good plans over us, plans to prosper us, not to harm us, but they are good plans to give us a hope and a future. But there is the part that we also need to play. So God is speaking to us today, and He's asking us to rely on His knowledge and His understanding, not our own understanding, not to rely on false prophets. And we must believe in Him. We must believe in His promises, which are yes and amen. We must also believe in His plans, and we must also believe in His promises of restoration. Because surely, as He promised the people of Judah and the people of Jerusalem that He was going to restore them back to their land, He's also going to restore us to what we could call, normal situations or our whole selves. So a time spent in captivity is coming to an end. The 70 years for us who find ourselves in different captivities is coming to an end. Don't think about the years, the number of the years, because it's just a number, and we could probably have found ourselves in those captivities or different captivities. Like now, COVID is about a year, so this time is coming to an end. He's asking us to believe in His promises and His plans. And I think I said that. But we also must pray. He's telling us to call on Him, and He's going to listen. He is also asking us to seek Him with all our hearts, and we are going to find Him. Then He is going to restore us. So if it is a political captivity, He is going to bring back a nation with good leaders. He's going to help our decisions. When we are choosing leaders, He is going to help us. So long as we cry to Him, we call unto Him, and we seek Him. He is also going to restore our marriages, or He's going to give us a way out. He's going to restore us to our beautiful selves, to our whole selves, if we have lost direction or we have lost ourselves. So the captivity is coming. Rather, the end of captivity is coming, and the time is now. So even for the COVID captivity, God is assuring us that He is going to bring it to an end. He is going to restore us to great health. He is also going to restore us to fulfilled lives. He is going to prosper us and to bring our dead businesses to life. Because if they have been affected by this pandemic, COVID, then He is restoring us, as He's restoring us to our Jerusalem, because as He promised these people of Judah and the people of Jerusalem that He was going to take them back to the land, the promised land. He's also going to take us, to restore us to our Jerusalem, to our promised land, and He is going to to restore and replenish our land. If it is a bankruptcy, if there are bad decisions that have led to this, bad leadership, political leadership, or bad, when we put leaders who do not think about us in leadership, He is going to restore good leadership in our land. He's also going to restore our thoughts. If our thoughts are probably the ones that led to this, He is also going to restore good governance, and He is going to, we are also asked to plant a seed of protection, because we must also remember that we need to tithe to protect our businesses and to protect our stores. So if you are in any form of captivity, please remember that it is coming to an end. The 70 years are coming to an end. But we have to listen to God. We have to believe in God. We have to call unto Him, and we have to seek Him, because surely He is going to be found. And then we are going to be restored back to our Jerusalem. Thank you for watching. I hope you have been blessed, because I have been immensely blessed. And until another episode of Plug-in, I will see you at the top where eagles fly. Thank you so much. God's blessings. Bye-bye.